Welcome to our cozy corner of bedtime stories. Tonight we're going on an incredible journey, a full day in the life of an ant. You'll shrink down to the size of a raindrop, explore hidden tunnels, join a bustling colony, and discover what it truly means to work as one tiny but mighty creature. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another story. Your support helps us create more relaxing, imaginative adventures just for you. Now, get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's step into the tiny yet extraordinary world of an ant. You open your antennae to darkness. The tunnel walls feel cool and damp around you. It's early morning in the colony. Though outside, you can't see the sun. All around you, there is the quiet hum of dozens of thousands of workers and nurses whispering against the mud and leaf-woven nest structure. You breathe in earth and the faint sweet scent of fungus farms deeper in the colony. No breeze reaches you here. This is you, a worker ant, newly matured, stepping into your first full day. You're small, about a few millimeters long, but essential. Around you, the colony's architecture reveals itself. Branching tunnels cut through compact earth like veins. Chambers hold brood and fungus gardens. Waste chambers lie off to the side, carefully sealed away. You can sense the temperature gradient. Deeper chambers are warmer. Brood rooms hold eggs, larvae, and pupae in beds of carefully tended fungal gardens. Your first task is nursery duty. You shuffle towards the brood chamber, where younger nurses cluster around clusters of creamy larvae. As a young worker, these are your responsibilities. Gently stroking larvae with your antennae, feeding them, cleaning them, and tending the queen's eggs. Overhead, other older workers rumble past with mouthfuls of fungus or waste. The nest is alive. Ants work in a strict division of roles. Queens lay eggs, workers forage, clean, nurse, and defend. You are part of that division, non-reproductive, wingless, and female, ready to serve. You feel the energy of the colony's efficiency, where every individual's minute actions contribute to survival. As tasks shift, you take a brief pause to rest. Ants take power naps, 1 to 6 minutes each, scattered through the day. You feel your legs pause, your antennae droop slightly. You drift for perhaps 2 or 3 minutes, just enough to recharge. At this pace, worker ants average 5 hours of total rest per day through many brief episodes. Queens sleep longer, around 9 hours, through fewer but longer naps. You feel refreshed as the gentle vibration of passing footsteps on tunnel walls wakes you. Time seems blurred. Moments of action, moments of rest. Already you feel part of a living rhythm. You shift to clean a side corridor next, scraping debris with your mandibles, smoothing walls so airflow and temperature stay stable. The colony's ventilation connector sucks warm air upward through vents at the nest's rim, while cooler air flows inward through outer chambers. A natural air conditioning system that helps regulate moisture and heat. You pause at a junction in the tunnels. A faint chemical trail drifts from the direction of an upper passage where scouts come and go. You sense a shift in colony mood. If scouts have found food, you may be assigned to forage or help strengthen that trail. Your heart, or equivalent, feels a buzz of excitement. Soon, you may step out of the nest into the bright unknown. But for now, in the hush of the nursery chamber, you stand in the company of brood and fellow nurses, antennae touching, working in silent synchronization. These are the first moments of your day in the life of an ant. The nursery hum fades behind you as you venture deeper into the main corridors. The nest feels like a living city, an underground labyrinth, buzzing with life. You pause for a moment and let your antennae sweep the air, tasting the faint vibrations of footsteps and the steady pulse of pheromone trails. Here, in the heart of the colony, every scent is a signal. One chemical hint means danger. Another means food. A third says, keep moving. There's work to be done. Your caste, the worker caste, thrives on this silent chemical language. No spoken words, no sound, only pheromones. You and your sisters navigate by these invisible trails, a map that shifts with every breath of air. It feels comforting, like following an unseen thread that ties every ant together. Your first assignment for the morning is brood care. The eggs and larvae are the future of the colony, and they need constant attention. The air grows warmer as you enter the brood chamber, a round hollow packed with tiny white grubs. Larvae wiggle gently as you approach, sensing the touch of your antennae. You lower your head and delicately feed one a droplet of regurgitated liquid. This act feels natural, instinctive. Nurturing is part of you now. Ant colonies work like clockwork because of age-based labor division. The younger ants, like you, start with inside tasks: feeding, cleaning, and guarding the queen's offspring. As you age, your duties will shift outward, toward foraging, hunting, and defending. It's a simple yet brilliant system, ensuring the colony runs smoothly without leaders barking orders. The queen herself is deeper in the nest, shielded from all but her closest attendants. She is enormous, dozens of times your size, her sole purpose to lay eggs, thousands each day. You will never meet her directly, but every egg you tend comes from her. Her pheromones seep through the tunnels like an invisible heartbeat, reminding every worker of the unity of the hive. Once the larvae are fed and cleaned, you move to another task: maintenance. The tunnels must stay strong and clear for airflow. You scrape at a wall with your mandibles, smoothing the earth so it won't collapse. As you work, you sense a rhythm, a pattern of motion and rest. Like most workers, you do not sleep in long stretches. Instead, you take micro naps, little pauses where your legs lock and your antennae droop for 2 or 3 minutes. These short rests add up to about 4 or 5 hours of sleep per day, though you never feel truly tired. Your mind seems wired for the hum of constant motion. Suddenly, a ripple runs through the tunnel floor. It's subtle, like a tremor, but you feel it. Ants passing quickly, moving toward the upper galleries. Your antennae twitch, drinking in their chemical messages. Food. Outside. Now. A wave of excitement washes over you. For the first time, you may leave the nest. Your heart beats faster, or what serves as your heart, a long, muscular tube that pumps hemolymph through your tiny body. Your body feels light, ready. But there's one last duty before you go. You clean your antennae. They are your lifeline, your eyes, ears and nose combined. Without them, you cannot smell the pheromone trails that guide every ant. You run your forelegs carefully along each antenna, combing off grains of dirt. Ready. The tunnels stretch before you like arteries, leading toward the surface. Somewhere above, sunlight warms the world. You've never felt it before, but you will now. Ahead lies brightness, danger, and opportunity, the realm of foragers and scouts. For the first time, you will step into the open air and see what lies beyond the soil. Your journey as an ant has only just begun. The air changes before you see the light. The tunnel slopes upward, the earthy scent growing cooler, thinner. Your antennae twitch as new smells drift in, green, sweet and sharp. The perfume of living plants and the trace of other creatures beyond your nest. For the first time, you feel the tug of the surface calling you forward. The tunnel opens to a crack of brightness. You hesitate at the edge, all 6 legs gripping the packed soil. Sunlight, it floods your compound eyes with brilliance. Everything is too large, too dazzling. You blink, though ants don't blink like humans. The light simply adjusts, and the outside world sharpens into focus. Above you, colossal stalks of grass rise like pillars, their blades forming a forest canopy swaying in the breeze. The ground is a maze of twigs, stones, and towering roots, each one a mountain compared to your tiny frame. The temperature rises instantly. The sun warms your exoskeleton, a hard chitin shell that protects you from the harshness of this open land. But this world is not safe. Shadows twitch across the soil. A beetle lumbers by, its armored body gleaming like black metal. Somewhere in the grass, a spider waits in its invisible web. patient and deadly. Every vibration in the ground could mean danger or discovery. You stay still for a heartbeat, antennae tasting the air. Other workers swarm past you, fanning out into the wilderness. You are part of the foraging team now. Somewhere, a scout has already found food, and her pheromone trail winds across the soil like a silent thread. You press your antennae to the ground, sensing it. Faint at first, then stronger as you step forward. It's a chemical whisper that says, "Follow me. Treasure ahead." You march in single file with the others, careful not to lose the trail. Ants are masters of navigation. You don't just follow scent, you also count steps, track the position of the sun, and memorize visual landmarks. Some species can even measure the polarization of light in the sky to keep their bearings. You are one of these living compasses, balancing instincts with memory. The trail leads you across uneven terrain. Pebbles become boulders. Leaves are as large as sails. A gust of wind topples a dry seed in your path, and you scurry around it. All the while, you stay close to the scent ribbon, reinforcing it with your own pheromones. Every step strengthens the signal for those behind you. Then, you see it. Ahead lies the prize, a piece of sweet fruit, bright and glistening like a jewel against the soil. Its sugary scent fills your senses, pulling you forward. Other ants are already there, swarming the morsel, cutting it into manageable pieces with sharp mandibles. You join them, biting into the soft flesh. The taste bursts on your tongue, rich energy for the colony. But you cannot eat it all here. Your task is to help carry it home. You clamp your jaws around a fragment nearly as large as yourself. Your body strains, but your muscles surge with power. Ants can carry up to 50 times their own weight, a feat that would make any human gape in awe. Around you, sisters struggle with their own loads, working in unison, silent but synchronized. Suddenly, a vibration. The ground quivers beneath your legs. Something is coming. You freeze, antennae quivering in alarm. The tremor grows into a pounding rhythm. Then, with terrifying suddenness, a shadow falls across the fruit. A massive creature looms, a bird, its beak probing the soil. In an instant, panic pheromones flood the air. Ants scatter, clutching their fragments or dropping them in fear. You dash for cover beneath a curled leaf, your heart pumping hemolymph fast. The bird pecks once, twice, then flies off, leaving chaos in its wake. Slowly, the alarm fades. Ants regroup. You retrieve your fragment and feel a surge of determination. The world is dangerous, but your colony depends on you. No matter what, the food must reach the nest. You take one last glance at the towering grass forest. This is just the beginning. The outside world holds more dangers and wonders than you ever imagined, and you will face them all, step by tiny step. The fruit fragment presses against your mandibles as you march along the chemical highway, every muscle straining with the weight. The path is alive now, thick with movement. When the scout first laid this pheromone trail, it was a faint whisper in the soil. But you and every ant that steps here strengthen it with your own scent, layering signal upon signal until the trail becomes a living road. This is how ants amplify success. Communication without words, without sound, just molecules on the wind. Ahead, you notice something unusual. A young forager hesitates at the trail's edge. She flicks her antennae nervously, uncertain where to go. Her steps are hesitant, breaking rhythm. You pause and release a small burst of pheromone, an invitation. Then you do something remarkable, something not every creature can manage. You begin tandem running. Unlike simple trail following, tandem running is a teaching act. You lower your fragment of fruit to the ground and step toward her, brushing antennae gently in greeting. Then you move forward a few steps. Slowly, deliberately, while she follows close behind. If she falls back, you stop and wait. Your pace adjusts to her learning speed. This is how ants pass on knowledge. One teacher, one student, navigating the world together. Step by step, you guide her toward the fruit site, reinforcing the trail as you go. Behind you, others march in formation, their loads balanced like trophies of survival. The system is flawless in its simplicity. Scouts discover, trails spread, workers recruit. Each ant an individual, yet each action part of the hive mind's grand design. At the fruit cache, the scene has changed. Where there were dozens before, there are now hundreds. The ground ripples with movement, glossy black bodies glinting under the sun. The air is thick with chemical chatter, alerts, commands, encouragement, all written in sense no human nose can ever know. Every ant cuts, lifts, drags. The prize is disappearing piece by piece, transformed from chaotic mass into organized flow toward the nest. Your new recruit joins the cutters, jaws snapping with purpose. You reclaim your fragment and slip back into the stream of carriers. The trail is now a two-lane highway, one side outbound, one inbound. Ant traffic hums in perfect rhythm. No gridlock, no confusion. Pheromones direct everything, like invisible traffic lights guiding countless travelers. The heat grows as the sun climbs. You feel it radiate through your exoskeleton, shimmering on the soil. Ants are small, but the colony mind is vast, and this network of trails extends like roots across the earth, reaching food caches kilometers away in some species. Your colony may not span that far, but still, this is strategy at work. Foraging zones mapped with chemical ink, redrawn with every passing hour. You sense movement overhead, a dragonfly slicing through the sky, its shadow gliding like a ghost. A flicker of instinct warns you, stay close to cover. Birds, spiders, rival ants, predators lurk everywhere, but you keep moving, each step a drumbeat in the great march of survival. When you finally reach the nest entrance, you dive back into darkness. The tunnel wraps around you like a familiar blanket, the air cool and moist once more. You follow the inbound route deep inside, through corridors lined with moving bodies. At the storage chamber, you deposit your fragment onto a growing mound of sweet treasure. Tomorrow, this food will feed larvae, fuel workers, and sustain the queen. But there's no time for pride, only another task. You taste the air again, feeling the echo of trails above ground. More food awaits, more paths to mark, and perhaps more dangers to dodge. Your world is small, but it thrums with urgency and life. You pause briefly in the chamber's shadow, locking your legs and letting your antennae droop for a moment's rest. A micro nap that lasts only minutes. Then you rise, driven by something deeper than thought. The pull of the colony, the endless work of survival. Tomorrow, you will venture farther still. The nest hums with energy as you wake from your brief pause. Above, the foraging grounds still pulse with opportunity, and the colony responds like a single living organism. You march back up the tunnel, driven by a pull stronger than hunger, the chemical command to gather, to serve, to thrive. When you emerge into the daylight, the world has changed again. The sun leans west now, casting long green shadows from towering grass blades. The air smells sharper, tinged with dryness, but the pheromone highway is stronger than ever. Ants stream along both directions like living rivers. The trail pulses beneath your feet, a road of purpose that carries countless feet like yours. Today's challenge awaits farther out. You follow the chemical scent toward a distant target, past leaves curled like canoes and stones that rise like mountains. At last, you reach the prize. A dead grasshopper sprawled across the soil like a fallen titan. Its legs jut skyward like broken spears, its body armored and heavy. Alone, you could never move it. But you are not alone. Dozens of ants swarm the carcass already. Some grip its limbs, others tug at antennae, each pulling in different directions. At first it looks chaotic, but slowly order emerges. Ants reposition themselves, align their bodies, and coordinate their force until the grasshopper begins to shift. Millimeter by millimeter, the colossal insect slides across the soil. You rush forward to help, clamping your mandibles, onto the edge of a wing. Your body strains. Every muscle tenses. The grasshopper is massive, perhaps 100 times your own weight. Yet you and your sisters do not yield. Ants are among the strongest creatures relative to size, capable of lifting 50 times their body weight thanks to their small size and exoskeletal leverage. The work is grueling. The soil resists every inch. Pebbles block the path. But when a stone proves too large to cross, a new wave of ants appears. Not lifters, but architects. They begin moving grains of soil, carving a ramp around the obstacle. Ants are engineers by instinct, reshaping the world to fit their needs. Within minutes, the path clears. The team surges forward again. Your jaws ache, your legs burn. Still, you pull. Around you, others adjust their grip when the carcass tilts. Some climb onto the body to anchor themselves, using their weight as leverage. The cooperation feels wordless yet precise, a choreography written in pheromones and instinct. To any human eye, it is silent genius. As the procession moves closer to the nest, you encounter a new threat, a rival ant patrol. They are larger, red and gleaming, their mandibles sharp. A tense moment freezes the trail. Antennae flick. Scents clash in the air like sparks. Foragers drop their loads and brace for defense. These skirmishes can be brutal, mandibles locking, legs tearing, but fortune favors you this time. The intruders retreat, leaving the carcass to your colony. With the danger gone, work resumes. At last, the nest entrance looms ahead. The grasshopper is too large to fit, so cutters swarm its sides, slicing pieces small enough to pass underground. Each segment vanishes into the earth, carried down by tireless jaws. You drag your share through the tunnels, past chambers glowing with movement. Brood workers wait eagerly. Larvae need this protein to grow. You deposit the fragment, then step back, antennae twitching with satisfaction. The colony's strength does not lie in size, nor in speed. It lies in unity, in the countless tiny choices that keep this world turning. Exhausted, you retreat to a quiet chamber, legs folding beneath you. For a few precious minutes, you drift into a shallow dream of soil and scent. Tomorrow, the world will call again, and you will answer. The air outside is changing. The sharp heat of day softens as shadows stretch across the earth. Above, the towering forest of grass glimmers with the last golden light, each blade trembling in a cool breeze. You feel the temperature shift, ripple through the soil beneath your feet. It is evening, a signal not spoken, but deeply felt. The time has come to return home. Your body is weary from the day's labor. Mandibles sore, legs heavy, yet the rhythm of life urges you forward. The pheromone trails, strong and certain earlier, now hum with a softer urgency. Come back, gather close, rest. You turn toward the nest, joining the steady stream of sisters flowing into the darkness, like water returning to a well. The tunnel greets you with cool, moist air, rich with the scent of home. The world above fades behind you, the bright, dangerous expanse shrinking to a memory. Inside, the corridors glow with quiet movement. The chaos of foraging softens to a hum, like a distant heartbeat. You follow the familiar curve downward, antennae brushing the walls, until you reach the heart of the colony. Here, life never stops, but it slows. Some ants still bustle with scraps of food, delivering them to storage or the brood chambers. Others clean their antennae or groom one another in gentle rhythmic strokes. Deep inside, the queen rests amid her retinue, surrounded by eggs that glisten like pearls in the dimness. Her presence hums through the air, an unbroken thread that binds you all. You set down the last fragment of the day's bounty on the communal pile, where the sweet scent of fruit mingles with the tang of insect prey. Around you, workers stack and organize, ensuring the stores will last through lean days ahead. Tomorrow, the cycle begins anew. Forage, build, defend, nurture. But for now, your task is done. You retreat into a quiet side chamber, a hollow pocket of soil, just big enough to curl into. The walls are warm, pressed with the bodies of sisters settling down beside you. You feel their vibrations soft and steady, like the pulse of the earth itself. There is no loneliness here. Every ant is part of something greater, a web of life woven in silence. You lock your legs, antennae drooping gently. Sleep does not come in long, drifting waves for ants, but in tiny ripples. A minute here, 2 minutes there. You let your thoughts, such as they are, slip into stillness. Above, the night spreads its velvet cloak across the world. Stars prick the sky like droplets of light, unseen by your compound eyes but present all the same. And in the dark soil, deep and safe, you surrender to rest. Tomorrow, the sun will rise. The trails will hum again. The colony will call, and you will answer. For you are part of something vast, something eternal. 1,000 hearts beating as one. Tonight, though, there is only quiet. The gentle touch of antennae from a passing sister. The faint warmth of bodies pressed close. The rich, grounding scent of earth and home. A day in the life of an ant ends not with fanfare, but with the soft, certain promise of another dawn. You close your senses, letting the world fade. In stillness, in darkness, in unity, You sleep.